All right, let's go ahead and get this going. We've got to talk about some motivation. We've got to talk about some inspiration. We've got to talk about some meditation. Motivation, meditation, inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. Yesterday I just sat down at a lake. I did some meditation. I started to realize that the reason why people enjoy me for what's going on inside, not the challenges that we face off against on the outside. And so started to realize that what we write down, we have to start manifesting. We've got to start putting it in front of ourselves. We've got to start putting the ability to overcome the challenges, the ability to utilize our gifts, our talents, our abilities within ourselves. Start to focus on using your goals, your abilities within who you are. We're already halfway through just about the second scroll of success, sitting here doing this on a daily basis, starting to realize how important writing things are down, putting those things into our mind, into our focus, that we got to actually set ourselves tasks, set ourselves goals so we can sit down in front of who we are and start to manifest. So I want to talk a little bit about focus. I want to talk about how we end up becoming our results, how we end up becoming our mind, and how we use our gifts, our talents, our abilities to focus to overcome our challenges. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is how you can start to focus to see yourself as the equation, to see yourself as the one who starts to do it for you. You know, as I sat down yesterday in a 54-degree weather for 40 minutes doing meditation, I started to realize that when we look within ourselves, we ultimately have to realize what we're focusing on, what we're putting in our life track path, what we're utilizing on a daily basis, and how we're utilizing our mentality. See, a lot of times we allow the things that are going on around us to be greater than the things that are going on inside. But when we allow what's going on inside to be greater than the things that are going on around us, it takes time for you to observe, to understand, to use your abilities, your mentality, your focus to overcome the challenges that you face off against on a daily basis.
Can that be on YouTube?
Sure, Dave.
Make it a great day, people. Always stay positive.
Yeah. And you're welcome. When you're in that place of focusing and you're in that place of using your gifts, your talents, your abilities to focus towards what you want to manifest and what you're looking for inside of yourself, it's a part of what we focus to. You know, you're your greatest ally, and when you start to see that, when you start to use your gifts, your talents, your abilities within who you are, you overcome challenge. You know, you start to focus beyond, you start to use your being, your vibration in such a way that no matter the challenges you face off against, you become the results, you know. And that's why things like writing things down are so important, you know. What you write down, I just heard Steve Harvey talk about what we hope ends up becoming, because when you put those things in front of yourself, you start to have the faith, and when you start to have this faith, you start to have the ability to believe in yourself, and you start to believe in your being and your vibration, that it can become possible, and eventually with that it becomes a manifestation. And that's why focus is so important, because it's the abilities, the skills, the gifts that allow you to be who you are within. And when you start to utilize that part of yourself, you will become what you manifest. You know, each day I talk about this, you know, and once I made it become a reality, you know, I started to come up with a declaration. You know, what does it mean to be me? What does it mean to be who you are within? What does it mean to go beyond the challenges, to go within, to not allow what happens on the outside to be greater than what's going on inside. And I'm sitting here in front of the second scroll of success, halfway through the second scroll of success, setting that challenge to do this one time a day, every single morning before I start my day, to allow me to be who I am inside. And no matter the challenges that we go on around us, it's what's going on inside of you that matters the most. It's what's going on inside of your growth. See, the people that are going to be attracted to you, the people that are going to want to be around you, they're going to be around you because they're attracted to your positive mentality. They're attracted to your ability to utilize that in a professional and a manifestation within. And when we're focusing to that point where what we have going on, what we have within ourselves, what we're facing off against, the challenges that we go through on a daily basis, we look inside of ourselves for the answers. We look inside of ourselves for that part of our being. And as I sat there and I started to do meditation, I started to realize it wasn't other people, it was me that was off. It was me that wasn't going inwards. It was me that wasn't seeking out the understanding within, that the path, that the purpose, that the ability, if there anyone's going to do it, it's got to be within yourself. It's got to be for your life's track path. And so it started to manifest. I started to sit and allow what was going on inside to be greater than the challenges going on around. And so once the inner being becomes that part, once the inner being becomes that manifestation, once what you believe in yourself starts to become open, you start to study yourself, you start to study your being. And when you see you as the ability, when you see you as the one who understands, when you see you as the one who cares for yourself and cares for your inner light, you start to allow the things that are going to bring you towards that path. A lot of times we want to hold on to things. There's so many things in this world that we try to hold to, that this life is so delicate, it's so important. It's a place where what we have within becomes something great, where what we have within is something beyond. And to get to know yourself, to get to know your being inside, you have to find a place where you can silence the outside, where you can look within yourself for the answers, where you can look within yourself for that ability, And sometimes when you're put to that place where you have to find the way to work on you, it becomes an amazing part of this path. It absolutely becomes an amazing part of this journey to sit down inside of our energy and to sit down inside of our ability within and to look at what it takes to become yourself. Also, when we're facing challenges, where do we look? Do we look inside of ourselves for the reason why not? Do we look for inside of ourselves for the reasons why the things that are happening in our lives? What is within lights up outwards. And so when I sat there and it becomes greater that the inner light is than the cold on the outside, and you warm yourself up from within, the challenges that we face off against become less. And that's why the tasks, the tools, the abilities that I'm talking about on a daily basis, they're important. And so we have got to find ways to discipline ourselves to that point where we go beyond the challenges, where we inspire other people through reflection, where what goes on within becomes the light outwards. And when we look within for that, we find the answers, and those when the things that are meant for you start coming in your direction. I just want to hope you all have a blessed day as always. Namaste.